Hey, welcome back everybody. This is Travis again, giving you part 3 of our HTML5 and CSS3 web page. Anyways, we're back into our HTML file, so go ahead and open that up. So wait, X out of that. Okay, and let's see here. We are... One thing I had to do here, just to kind of... Something I didn't do in my last video. Whenever you put this add block in here, this new div that we created, you're supposed to create a subdiv, a div class of 125 add, and the reason why is that way you can add as many of those 125 by 125 as you possibly can. So go ahead and write this code down, and what you're going to do, if you want 4 of these, you would just copy it, and just put 4 of them in there, just like so. Although you should probably space this out. Save it. And the other thing I was going to say was I spelled something wrong here. Let's see, where was it? Yeah, right here. I spelled something wrong. And that's it. That was the only corrections I had to make to my HTML file. So I'll go ahead and load this up. And this is kind of where we left off at anyway. That small correction that I made, I created these 4 ads here. So just to kind of let you know. But anyways, we're actually ready to move on to bigger and better things. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so now that we're done with our HTML, at least for now anyway, let's go back into our folder, our website folder. And let's go into our CSS, and we have reset.css right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go File, New File, and we're going to name this, I think it was Styles, I think is what we named it before. Oops, I'm sorry. File, Save As, Styles.css. And you're going to make sure that you save it in the right folder, which in my case it was, I think, yeah, we named it My Website, CSS, and go ahead and save it. And there you have it. And the reason why I named it Styles.css, if you guys remember, go all the way to the top here, and if you remember, I named it Styles.css right here. That way it's already linked whenever I do some changes. That's why I named it the way I did. Okay. First thing you want to do is you want to style the HTML page itself. So, do HTML, open and close curly bracket, and you want to type, I'm going to type in background. I'm going to give it a URL, and inside the URL I'm going to link it to the image that I have for my background, which I called it wavegrid.png. And I'm going to go ahead and just save this real quick, and I just want to show you exactly what just happened. I'm going to reload this. Have you noticed? Yeah, this background changed right here, which is exactly what I wanted to do. So that's what CSS is for. You change everything in your website and you get to formulate things. Next, I want to do stuff with the body. And by the way, whenever you're doing these style rules, this supersedes your reset text if you're making specific rules for something. Just to let you all know. Anyways, background, color, I want it to be white. Even though it's already white, well actually it's not, because the HTML part covers that background. But even if it wasn't, I would still put background color white in there. I don't want to put any float. I'll put none. And I did that because my reset text has everything as blocks. Margin, put 0 pixels. Oops. 0 pixel auto. What 0 pixels auto does is it centers your body onto your HTML page. You definitely want that. You also could have went margin dash right, margin dash left, and you could have put auto for those as well. width, I want to be 95%, and that's how big I want the body to be relative to the HTML. Alright, now max width, and the reason why we put a max width on here, I'm going to put 1050 pixels, is because sometimes you have different, well, you want to be able to load the right way if people have like smaller browsers or smaller screen resolutions. And that should be good for that one. But that's body. Nothing really happened. It's really pointless showing to me. The only thing that happened was the background color turned white, and this is all for other things. Well, as well as the margin too. So basically what just happened is the page got centered, and the background color for the body was white. So let's go ahead and continue on. Let's do our header, where something actually matters. Header, open and close curly brace. Alright, background. And we want this to be white as well. Oops. White, with a URL. And inside there, I'm going to reference my images. And this is where I'm going to put my logo at. And also, I'm going to write down a specific word here. I want my logo to be top left, no repeat. And it should be good for that. And I want the margin. And actually, I messed up something here, folks. Oh wait, no. I don't know. I think it works. Okay, margin bottom. Let's go 20 pixels, because I don't want it to butt up against my my body or the next element that's coming up. Let me hit save real quick. Let's go to our website. Load. Okay, as you see, everything was centered from that body that we just did. And yep, I did make a mistake. Yeah, let's go ahead and fix that. Actually, I may not even need that top left. Oh, I see what I did wrong. I put the semicolon in there. I didn't even mean to put that. There we go. Save. I don't know why I did that. I'm gonna hit reload. And I must have named my something. I'm gonna name something wrong here. Let me check what I did here. Images / oh yeah. Let's see. I forgot to put this slash here, folks. There we go. Go ahead, reload this. Okay, now you see my my logo is here. However, these things are covering it, and the reason why is because I never did style these yet to be pushed over to the right hand side. Now you see my logo here, and I'm going to go ahead and fix that. I would probably with the next styling rule. Let's find out. I'm going to go header, div. If you're wondering what the header div is, let's go back to our website. It's under header, we have these divs here. So basically I'm styling all these divs. So that's what that is. So header div. And I want the font size to be 11 pixels. Oh, let's see here. Our font family. Let's make it Lucidia Console. Helvetica, in case it doesn't work, and sans serif. Okay, let me explain font family real quick. Basically, I want Lucidia Console for my font. If the browser doesn't have Lucidia Console in it, then it'll load Helvetica. If it doesn't have Helvetica, it'll load sans serif, and I've never heard of no browser ever having sans serif. So that's why I have 3 of them on here. In case you're wondering, well, why do you need 3 fonts? So that's why. If you don't define a font, the browser will load a default font for you. But wouldn't you rather have your own font? So that's why you put that in there. Okay, now I'm going to float to the right. Margin right. We'll make this 20 pixels. And let's see, margin top. We'll make it 10 pixels. Alright, we'll go ahead and save this. And now you can see it more clearly what it's going to look like. So reload. Bam, now you notice all of them got floated to the right there. And they would not have looked like this if we didn't put the style for block on there. Obviously you see all this butting against my my logo as well as my header here. And we're going to fix all that, because if you guys remember, these this right here, this navigation list, is part of my header, so that's why it's doing that. I just haven't styled it yet. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go with oh wait, what am I doing? I got to put header, and I wanted to target the nav dot horizontal. And let's see, I want to go border. Oh, let's go with 1 pixel. Solid. RGB. RGB stands for red, green, blue. And the red value, I want 192. The blue value, or I'm sorry, the green value, I want the 192. And the blue value, I want 192. If you guys are wondering, well, where do you get these values from? Well, if you do a simple Google search for color wheel, HTML, go to this first web page here, and it's kind of loading a little slow because I'm recording this. And you'll notice here, if you pick a certain color, like for example, if you pick a certain color here, it'll give you an RGB value. That's where I'm getting those numbers from, just to let you know. And let's see. Now, you also need to add a Moz kit and a Web kit to this. So, the reason why you need to do this, whenever you're adding a border radius to it, which is like the kind of like a squared circle sort of thing, and the reason why you need to do that is because some browsers like Google Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer all load differently. In the future, we're not going to need this. Well, for right now, we have to put Moz kits in here. So Moz-border -radius. I'll make it 10 pixels. I'm going to do the exact same thing for WebKit. I know it feels like I'm repeating myself, but they're supposed to get that fixed. That is, whenever they do, hopefully the next HTML update, they'll fix this part. But for right now, this is kind of a workaround. And our border radius, now for all other browsers that already are modernized, let me go ahead and get some space here so y'all can see. Border radius is 10 pixels. Let me hit save real quick so you can see my changes. Okay, so I got this border here, and I need to go ahead and place these all the way across. As you can see in my final example, I need to place them right here, like so. But I did do this right here. And the reason why it's sized the way it is because it's going off of whatever is in the header. So that's why it's doing that. But we will fix that. Or rather, what's in the nav. There's a reason why it's sized that way. But let's go ahead and place some height and width values so we ain't got to worry about that. So height, we'll give it 38 pixels. Width, width we'll give 98%. And margin 0 pixel. I keep doing that. 0 pixel auto, which means what? We're centering it. And that should be it. Now, if we load that, this should shrink. Let's find out if it does. Sure enough, it did. It shrank. I know it looks, I know it looks really bad right now, but we will fix it, folks. The next thing, the reason why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it is I want to show you exactly what's happening. As you said to me, tutorials online, they'll do a bunch of CSS rules, and at the very end, they'll show you, and you're like, well, what just happened? So I want to show you individually what's happening as we're making these rules here. Alright, now I want to go style my header again, nav dot horizontal, same thing. But this time I want to style the list items within that. So let me go to my website here. Well, that's kind of a bad example. Let's go with this one. Okay, so I styled this to begin with in the back here. Now I'm going to be styling the actual list items here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. The first thing I want a border. I make this 1 pixel, solid, red, green, brown values again. Make this 171, and again, you guys know where I got these numbers from. I want to display block, even though I think it already is, but just to make sure. Font, family. We'll go with Tahoma, Geneva, and sans serif. And font size. We'll go with, let's make it 12 pixels. I think that's a fair number. Now, let's load this, and you should see some changes. Remember, we did the list items here. So go ahead and reload this. And if you notice, the list items are now inside their appropriate borders here. But obviously, it still looks really bad. But we will fix that. So, the next thing on our agenda, we want to go back here. Let's make the font weight bold. So it stands out. I want to float. This is what really is going to make it stand out really well. Is float left. I want the height of this border background to be 30 pixels long, which gives us that button effect. Letter spacing 0 pixels. Letter spacing is like if I were to write the word tree, for example. Letter spacing would be T, R, E. You get what I'm saying? So I want that to be 0 pixels. Let's see. Line height. I don't know. Let's make it 30 pixels. And margin, make it 3 pixel. I think I put 0.5% on mine, but I'm not sure. Okay, margin. Let's see, what else do I have to do? Oh yeah, text align. Make it center. Width, we'll make it like 12% or so. And let's see. And, oh yeah, we want to give it a background color. Background, forgot about that. Background color. RGBA. Same thing. Red, green, blue, and the A stands for alpha, or its opacity. So I'm going to give it 76, which I might change this color, but 203, 146, and 0.4. let's go ahead and let's actually I gotta do one more thing. I want to give it a radius. Border radius, we'll give it I don't know, 8 pixels. Go ahead, save this, and let's go ahead and reload. Also, with this border radius, you should do the same thing you did here with the WebKit border radius. So I probably should go ahead and copy this. And of course, make it obviously 8 pixels. You want to make it the same. And let's go ahead and save this. And reload. Alright, so now we got things that are kind of happening here. Not everything is done though, because there are some things that are conflicting. But you can see we are making some progress. The one thing that's conflicting is this reviews here. And it's doing that because it's showing up because we never did hide the value for it. Now if you remember, I told you in a previous tutorial, or maybe it was the first one. Let's go down here. I said that I'm going to put this in here because I don't have a logo. But now I don't want this in here. However, if I get rid of it, it's going to mess up my, my web page because it's already part of my site. So, here's how you'd fix that. Let me go to all the way up here. It doesn't matter where you put it. I just want to put it where it kind of makes sense. And I'm going to say header, H1, targeting that header tag. And I'm going to write down, well, I'm going to give it a height value. And, oops. I didn't mean to put that. I meant to put French curly braces. I'm going to give it a height value of 60 pixels, I guess. And I'm going to put visibility hidden. Now, that should go ahead and fix part of my problem here. Hit reload. Sure enough, it does. So now, we have our header. It's completely done here. It looks really nice. However, I really don't like the underline here, and you certainly can change all that, as well as you can change the colors of some of that as well. So if you want to go ahead and do all that, well, it's very simple. Let's see, you could go to, you can target the list item, the anchor tag that's inside there. So for example, I'm going to go header again, nav dot horizontal. You guys, I think, are getting the picture here. List item and the anchor tag. Okay? It's very specific with CSS. Text decoration, I want none. That'll get rid of that underline that you see up top. But I also want to change the color. So I want to make it, let's say dark cyan. I like cyan. It's really nifty color, I think. And also, I'm going to go ahead and copy this. I also want the color to change when my mouse hovers over it. So, it's dot hover. I'm sorry. Colon hover. And I want to be, it could be any color you want. It could be, I don't know. We'll make it, I don't know, yellow or something. But you can really go for any color on there. Go ahead, save. I'll go ahead and reload this. Okay, notice the underline is gone. And the colors have changed. And when I hover over it, guess what? It turns yellow. Just like I wanted it to. So, also I notice this is centered here. I can go ahead and fix that. As well as some of this up here I can create smaller. So let me go ahead and do that real quick before we cut this tutorial. I probably should have done this, but I just didn't do it. Let's see, how would I do that? Would have to create, oh yeah. Let me go back to my, which one do I want to do first? Let's do the let's do those search boxes. S box. If you guys are wondering why it's called S box, it's because you remember I gave it an ID of S box. I'll go back to my review website here. Where is it at? Yeah, right there, S box. So I'm targeting this div button. So let me go back to my styles. And let's see, what do I want to do with this? Oh yeah, I want to give it a width, because I think the default width is too big. 190 pixels. And I also want the header, the user box, which I titled user. I give it an ID of user, as well as the header password box. PWD, and I want to give that a width of, I think 100 pixels will work. Yeah, I think that's what I want, 100 pixels. So we're going to take care of that. Hit reload. Okay, if you notice, this got smaller. And now I need to go ahead and center this. I think is the next thing I want to go ahead and take care of. I know personally what I did wrong there. I didn't put these this last list item. I want to put a margin on the right here, and I want to target this first list item. That's what I was trying to do. And to do that, you would type in header nav dot horizontal, just like we've been doing. li last, or I should say, if that makes sense if I do that, first of type. Just like that. And we're going to do the same thing with this. We're going to copy it. And we're going to do last of type. So to do that first one, I want to make it margin left of 4%. And I'll make this one margin right 4%, so it looks even. And that's all you got to do for that. Hit save, reload. There, bam, centered just the way I wanted it. Okay guys, I'll see you next time in the next part of the tutorial, which we're going to do this left hand side here, this left section, and hopefully try to get into the middle section as well. So until then, I will see you later. Until next time.